No one taught me how to make money, spend money, and save money. Hello, hi. You're welcome to my channel. I'm excited to be here. I got a new pillow. Something just cute, very girly like me, if you know. So I just wanted to put her on my lap. And because I'm wearing a short, like she's petite. Welcome to my channel, a place where I feel free to share my trauma, feel the pain, share insight, reflect, try to heal, and above all, we'll learn something from it. Today, I'm going to be talking about money. Owo, kudi, ego. These are the names of money in different languages here in Nigeria. No one taught me how to make money, spend money, and save money. For someone who didn't have any of this training, here are the few things I have learned. And I feel like it is right for me to just come here and share because there are some people who actually are like me and majorly finding it very difficult to navigate their way financially. I will be sharing you my tips and tricks. To be honest, I really do not know a lot about the financial jargons, a lot of all the words. I really don't know much about that. Why? Because I am just a girl. I want to believe that I am smart when it comes to my money and wise when it comes to, spending it and also investing it. So today I'm just going to be talking about, my relationship with money first of all. Okay. So I am a girl, right? I think as a girl, my father's daughter, the first child, I grew up having money everywhere. I was the first grandchild, I was the first child of my parents. I remember my mom telling me that when she gave birth to me, my dad got a new job. Like when she was pregnant for me, my dad got a new job. My dad made so much money. Like, when a child comes into the family and it just starts flowing financially. Yes, we lived in a good house, we were okay. My dad used to travel for work and then comes back home. He just got a new job at the time. Life was good. It felt like I was a blessing in the family. So from the very onset, I am a blessing. Let me just put it out here. I naturally am a blessing. People just give me stuff naturally. I remember my sister, there was one time my sister and we had a fight. My sister is a very funny person. We had like, when sisters make this banter, and my sister said, the people that gives you money alone marries. And in my head, I'm like, what do you mean by that? So this is where my girly part comes in. Naturally, money comes to me. I don't know why, but I don't know what it feels like to struggle when it comes to money. And for me, it is all about the mindset, or perhaps the way I have always been growing up. So I don't know about you, but like I said, it is all a mindset, especially if you're a girl. Okay. Now, because I grew up this way, I had uncles, aunties, everybody just wanted to spoil me, especially as the first child coming into the family. And I was so playful. I was never the crying baby. I like to follow everybody out. Everybody just loved carrying me to places, and wherever I go, they buy me things just because I'm a very girly child, right? And my father always knows how to spend so much on me. My father was the type of person that wherever he goes, he just wants to bring me along, okay? Like he never wanted to bring my sister. But like we were so little then, I felt like if he brought my sister, it would be a lot of crowd. But rather, he would just want to take me along wherever he's going. It was always fun. And then whenever I go out to see, in a gathering of him, his friends, they would just give me money. Like his friends would never bring their kids, but my father will always bring me in such settings like that. I don't know why. And then whenever they're done talking, having their good time, his friends will always give me money, like, oh, take this. I used to get naira, dollars, pounds, like really for real. So now as an adult, right, I over time I stopped getting a good amount of money because I became an adult. My mom doesn't usually give us money for allowance. She just makes food. Back then we go to school, have food, all of that. And then it was only on Friday we don't go to school with food because we close early. We close for like 1 p.m. So that is basically lunch. So there's no way we're going to school and having lunch because that's basically lunch. Unlike Mondays to Thursdays, which school closes for like 3:30. So my mom would not give us lunch and then would give us like 20 naira or 50 naira back then. That was good money back then. And then give us that amount of money. We'll buy snacks at school, drink water, all of that. Now, fast forward to being an adult. I would say being a teenager, right? Being a teenager, my mom had a business. My mom had a catering business, more like where she sells snack, the meat pie, the egg rolls, all of that, like whatever snacks you want. My mom used to sell it, and then I used to steal. Okay, I'm sorry. I will tell you to this very day, my mom was the only person. My mom's money was the only money I have stolen as a child. Yes, I used to steal my mom's money mainly because I was helping her a lot. I mean, if I wake up in the morning, I will go with her to the store 6 a.m. in the morning so that our snacks were like food for kids who couldn't bring food to school or who didn't eat breakfast before going to school. Every mother was busy. Some of them do not make breakfast. So because my mom used to come very early, 7 a.m., we're already out, whatever we're baking, cooking, frying is out for people to buy. So there was money in it, right? So we used to attend to kids, schools, everybody used to buy things from us. And my mom, because of that, I will come in the morning and help my mom, then leave for like 7:30, 7:45, then get home, shower. My school was very close to my house, and then I'll just walk to school. 8:30, 9 a.m. ish, I'm at school. So this was how I used to do for a very long time. So but my mom never gave me money. The only thing she used to give me was like my allowance, and I was always mad because I wanted to do a lot of things, right? And then I started stealing my mom's money, right? I know I feel like a very bad child, but I used that money to throw myself my first birthday party ever. So my friends came, everybody gave me money on that birthday, and I was 14 at the time. And I got a lot of birthday presents from friends, everything. I never really knew what it felt like to struggle when it comes to money. I really did not buy clothes. When I used to buy, my mom was always the one buying the clothes, all of that. It was after I lost my mom, it dawned on me like, okay, there is no money, there is no income, there is no place for you to go and steal money again. The main person giving you that money is no more. I started relying on my aunts for allowance. When it comes to allowance, they give me, and it was so small. It was never enough because, to be honest, the allowance was never enough in the first place. It was the money I was stealing that was actually keeping me. My aunties gave me, yeah, it was such a hustle, but I don't want to talk about that part because it feels very sad. To be honest, it feels very sad. So after I left high school, the first thing I did was I went to get a job because it was obvious that my aunt would stop giving me money if I don't get a job quick. And I started getting a job. I got one job where I was paid 10,000 naira per month. And I didn't even get 10,000 before I moved to the next job. I was paid 6,000 after 1 month, then I moved to the next job. My relationship with money, I didn't know what it felt like to save because, to be honest, saving was not a priority at the time. For you to just get by, buy clothes, look good was the priority at the time. It wasn't to save to do anything, or no. The goal was just to eat, buy yourself clothes, make your hair, and look good. That was the main thing at that time. And because I did that, I wasn't the only one. I had friends. I would see my friend buy things, or whenever we're coming back from work, it felt like I needed to start buying things too. So I started buying things for myself so I would look good and look better. I never really had a saving. Then I moved to another job where I was paid 20,000 naira. And then that was when the way my money started increasing. Before I get home, I would have spent like half of the money, and then they were giving me cash. I was being paid in cash, which I really did not like. Even though I had a bank account, I had to go open a bank account at the time. I opened an account, and then they were paying me some silly money. They give me in cash. When I get home, I spent like half of the money, and I really would keep the remaining half and take it to work, all of that. And then before the month end, I'll start all over again. Like, it was such a repeated circle. There was nobody doing all of that. Now, let me pause and tell you, like, this kept on happening for years till I started meeting men, right? Meeting men, I'm not just talking about boys. Like, boys my age couldn't even give me money because they were also surviving the way I was surviving, the way I was having money. But then I started meeting men who were older than me. I'm telling you, these were 19, 20. Started meeting men who were older than me. And these men opened a can of money spending on me, like in my life. I have met somebody who had given me 500,000, 1 million, and that money vanished. I would not lie to you. I would spend on clothes, I would spend on ridiculous things. And then and I realized that I need to start saving. I left a job at the time and I realized, okay, my income was not coming. What am I even doing in my life? I got broke again. This was when I went to live with my auntie. I was not seeing money. I was living with my auntie. I would, like, whenever she sends me on an errand, the change from the errand, obviously I would not give her the change. I would save it, I'll keep it and buy movies, right? This was how I was buying movies and getting things. And then I realized that, Marius, it is actually time for you to start making money and saving it. I went back into the feed again. And this was when I now started taking my online course, going to school online, all of that, which was good. The money I was getting from work, I was paying my tuition, but then I started saving. I'm not just going to work, I'm going to school. I need to pay my fees. Nobody's coming to save me. I had boyfriends who would give me money then. I will split the money in three places. I'll split one for school, like it's savings for my tuition, all of that. I'll take one for spending, and I'll like spending, feeding, whatever I need, and then the other one will be for savings. And then there's always one for just like extra, oh, you're going out with your friends, they're just extra. And that's how I started, even though they were so little at the time. Over time they started piling up, and then I started earning more. And one major thing I learned was, while I was earning, if I get a bigger job, I would not start spending my money ridiculously. Like, if I get, let me assume, I used to get 50,000 per month, like 50,000 per month. And then I got another job that pays me 100,000. I would still be paying myself as if I am earning 50,000, meaning I'll still live the way I live, the way I was, having 50,000, all of that. This has actually helped me. It has shaped me to know my priorities. When all of this happened, I started saving that way. And once I was done, I went loose. I'm like, okay, finally, nothing to save so crazy about. I started spending money again. I was ridiculous. I was back to spending. I started dating different. I dated, right? And while I dated, I had a lot of money. They'll give me money. Oh, I want to buy this. They give me money. And look, yeah, I was saving the money at the same time I was still spending money, okay? But I spent more than I gained. And I also had a job. My job was not even paying me really good at the time, but I really did not care because I was done going to school. I was done. The major thing I was saving money for actually has ended. So in my head, I'm like, okay, I need to enjoy my life. But the truth is, it never really stops there. Your life keeps going. You still need to save money for something. You still need to be able to do things. And as time goes on, the prices of things increases, inflation happens, all of that. I went to square one. Okay. This was when I moved newly into my apartment. I'm telling you, I really did not struggle when it comes to money. When it comes to like getting a new apartment, I always had somebody there to help me. And to be honest, it can only be the grace of God. I'm telling you. I remember when I got this my apartment here, I hadn't even gotten the money, not even gotten, like I hadn't gotten this apartment. They were demolishing my old apartment, like bringing the whole building down. I had to take my properties, my siblings, all of us. And the day they were demolishing my house was the day I found this house, and I made part payment so that we can bring some of our things here, and so it just stays. But it couldn't stay actually because they were not done building this house. So we had to go to a friend and just put all our things there for the moment. In 2 weeks' time, we came back, we carried all our properties and we put them in. This was where we started now arranging the house and fixing it. But to be honest, it wasn't easy. And I won't say money was the main thing. Money was actually the reason, because I saw a lot of houses, but the budget was crazy. And somebody finally helped me. I got money and I was able to move into this apartment. But the truth is, this apartment was way above my budget. I'm not even going to lie. The money I was earning at the time could not sustain me in this apartment. Could not sustain me, could not sustain my siblings. It was over my budget. It was like, even if I get all my money a year, it would still not be able to pay for this apartment. And I knew it was time for me to change things. I knew it was time for me to just change my life because the money I was earning was chicken change. I wouldn't even lie.